Is Prince Andrew really as vulgar and entitled as Michael Sheen portrays him in A Very Royal Scandal? Spoiler alert, you bet, according to one royal insider. Let's break down the brutal portrayal of the disgraced Duke of York in Amazon's latest series. Amazon Prime's new drama A Very Royal Scandal throws an uncomfortable spotlight on Prince Andrew's notorious 2019 Newsnight interview. The interview, which was supposed to clear his name, did anything but. Instead, it led to a catastrophic fall from grace, trapping him in a court battle with Virginia Giuffre and ultimately stripping him of his HRH title. Michael Sheen plays Prince Andrew, and let's just say, his performance is spot on. Think of the most arrogant and entitled character you can imagine, and then double it. In the series, Sheen captures the worst of Andrew's behavior, his arrogance, his vulgarity, and his clueless self-importance. In one shocking scene, Andrew shouts unprintable expletives at a staff member. Believe it or not, that kind of language is reportedly true to life. A former courtier even recalled a moment when Andrew screamed at them, telling them to F off for offering advice he didn't like. This behavior wasn't just dramatized, it seems Andrew had a reputation for treating his staff harshly. Another memorable moment from the show is when Sheen's Andrew, rather than watching the infamous interview live, plays a game at a dinner party with a Donald Trump post-it note on his forehead. Meanwhile, the Queen is depicted watching the interview and calling her son. While the dinner party might be real, it's doubtful the Queen actually watched the interview. Insiders say she couldn't bear to see her son so publicly humiliated. But the show doesn't just portray Andrew as a villain. Sheen shows flashes of the Duke's vulnerability, highlighting his devotion to his daughters and the frustrations of being unable to fairly defend himself. His gamble to clear his name turned into a disaster, and Sheen brilliantly captures that realization sinking in. The aftermath of that disastrous interview is where things get even more interesting. After the cameras stopped rolling, Andrew reportedly felt proud of how he handled it, completely unaware of the damage he'd just done to his reputation. The scene where he congratulates himself and thanks Emily Maitlis, the interviewer, is no exaggeration. He truly believed he had made his points, including the now infamous claim that he couldn't have met his accuser because he was at Pizza Express. It's also reported that Andrew couldn't resist offering advice to the camera crew on how to set up their equipment, yet another cringeworthy moment that's reflected in the show. Truth versus drama. Of course, not everything in A Very Royal Scandal is entirely factual. The series takes a few creative liberties, like a scene where Prince Charles calls Andrew on his mobile phone. In reality, the now King Charles famously doesn't use a mobile phone. He's a technophobe, relying on landlines and assistants to screen his calls. The idea that he would personally call Andrew to confront him about the interview? Not likely. Another fictionalized moment involves a scene where Emily Maitlis is seen running across paving stones to enter the palace. True royal fans will know that the real entrance she would have used is actually covered in red gravel, a nightmare for anyone in heels. Andrew's gatekeeper. One of the more controversial portrayals in the show is Amanda Thirsk, Andrew's private secretary at the time. The series paints her as a hapless, bumbling figure, a far cry from the Ice Maiden that many remember her to be. Thirsk was fiercely loyal to Andrew, sometimes blindly so, and was instrumental in setting up the interview that led to his downfall. Despite her efforts to protect him, her portrayal in the show doesn't quite capture her real-life ruthlessness in managing Andrew's affairs. The final blow. The final scenes of the series depict Andrew gazing out of a window at the wreckage of his life, asking, "What do I do now?" In reality, Andrew's royal career never fully recovered. He was left in exile, watching from the sidelines as the rest of the royal family moved on without him. While A Very Royal Scandal may dramatize some details, it gets the heart of the story right: Andrew's arrogance, his catastrophic misjudgment, and the irreparable damage caused by that one fateful interview. That's a wrap for today's video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Was Michael Sheen's portrayal too harsh, or did he nail it? Let us know. You're watching AU News.